joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline via Zoom is the last BYU quarterback to be drafted into the NFL, a second rounder to the Miami Dolphins, John Beck. John, we've been hearing about these summer training sessions that you've had with Zach Wilson ad nauseum. What in the world did you teach him down there that is translating to the field now?
You know, it is crazy how many times it comes up when I watch the games. I mean, really, it's a culmination of years of training. I had an opportunity to meet Zach right after spring ball his freshman year. And really what it is, it's just all these years stacked on top of each other. And it's him building, growing, developing, going back and doing spring ball, then coming back out here, then going back and doing summer workouts and coming back out here. So it's not anything like some magic potion or anything like that. It's really just been hard work, dedication, and then continually building on top of where he's at and then utilizing all of his tools. Zach comes with so many tools. It's really about tying them all together. The great thing has been the continuity he's been able to have at BYU because the system hasn't changed. The coaches haven't changed. What they've been asking him to do in the offense has remained the same the whole time. So now we can elevate Zach and then get him to perform in the offense, utilizing everything that makes Zach special. And that's really what it's been. It's just been a continuation and constantly working on those things.
I want to point out that the legs behind you are some notable legs, right? That's what, Drew Brees and Tom Brady's legs behind you?
Yeah, do you know these legs?
Ooh.
Wait, I see Tom Brady to your right, our left, right?
Yeah, that's Tom. I'm trying to think.
Drew?
This is our office space, but I was told to not move the camera, otherwise it gets bad. But yeah, this is our office space. So a lot of our starters, so like Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, we throw them up on the wall. So maybe one day there'll be a big Zach Wilson up here on our wall.
Hey, maybe. And tell people a little bit about what you're involved in, because I believe you're still under the kind of the Tom House umbrella of coaches, right? Tom House, this arm guru. It's been pitching. It's been football. He was featured in, I think, what was it called? $1 Million Arm with the two cricket players brought over in that Disney movie. He's a guy that has coached a lot of notable people, as you're talking about.
Yeah, so I met Tom through Drew Brees. I'd been training with Drew for years. Drew had been working with Tom for years. I got connected with Tom, but it was at a time when, you know, I really didn't get to play anymore in the NFL. And Tom just said, hey, look, I'm getting more and more phone calls of NFL quarterbacks wanting to see what it is that Drew Brees has been doing, but I need somebody that knows football. I need somebody that can help me. So he basically just said, I'll make you a deal. I'll teach you everything I know about throwing if you bring everything you know about quarterbacking, and let's form this group. So it was me, Tom, and one other guy named Adam Dado. We formed 3D QB back in 2013. And Tom's not in the day-to-day anymore. A little too old. He's also dealing with Parkinson's. So me and Adam run the company day-to-day. Tom still pops in here and there when some of our big-time clients show up. But yeah, it's been a huge blessing in my life to be able to stay around football, especially the quarterback position. I've been able to work with a lot of guys, train a lot of top draft picks. I love working with the NFL guys. You know, on Sundays, my job is to watch football. And on Mondays, my job is to watch the coaches' tape of all the quarterbacks that we train. And on Tuesdays, I'm on phone calls with quarterbacks dealing with all the stuff they're going through, things they're trying to improve on, a lot of the mental aspects of their game that they have to deal with as an NFL quarterback. And it's the same with the college guys. So, you know, I mean, I can't complain. I literally just get to do quarterbacking, think quarterbacking, and watch quarterbacks every day. So I love it.
He is the Monday morning quarterback, and don't anybody argue about it. John Beck is with us on BYU Sports Nation. John, walk me through the demeanor that you have when you are watching Zach Wilson specifically and a BYU football game. What is your mentality like? What are you doing? Is it copious note-taking? What's happening?
No, not notes. There's a lot of rewinding because TV copies are a little bit difficult to see exactly what's going on from the routes and the concepts. You know, I've been able to spend so much time with Zach. A lot of the plays that he runs, we've repped them out here on the field. A lot of his footwork tie into certain things. So a lot of the times I watch the play happen, I watch the end result, and then I want to just rewind it. Really it's the following days when I can see actual game copies of what's going on, a little bit see more of the full field, what he's doing. And, I really kind of try to stay out of his hair. I mean, every once in a while we have just like a little like text back and forth, like, hey man, I thought you played great. I thought this was really nice. sometimes I will ask, like, hey, just kind of tell me what you were thinking on that one. You did such a good job there. I want to know your thought process. But that's it. I really just try to let the coaches coach. I mean, I don't get into reads ever with him. We never talk reads on this field. That's Aaron. That's Coach Grimes. That's what they do. The work that we do, it's all about getting in a position to perform really well. So, I mean, these last 3 games, I've just walked away every game feeling like, man, Zach is just doing so many things right now. Like, he just looks in command of the offense, in control of his feet. His eyes are going in good directions. Like, it just looks like a seasoned veteran guy that's getting to run an offense that he knows so well, and somebody that's just really got his body doing the right things from a timing and footwork standpoint.
What did you have to maybe work with him on the most when he started to come to you a couple years ago versus now?
Okay, so athletic quarterbacks, guys that are twitchy, that also have used their athleticism a lot in the level before. So I say the level before because sometimes we get NFL guys where the level before was college, but in Zach's case, it was high school. So really athletic kids in high school can tend to eat up a lot of space in the pocket, but there's usually more space in high school than there is in college. They can get away with some of the mistakes that their feet may make because of their athleticism. And you saw this Zach's freshman year, a couple times during his sophomore year, where sometimes his athleticism would take him a little too far into another space, or sometimes his feet weren't always guiding him, but he relied on athleticism. So Zach was making throws a little bit tougher than they needed to be, and he was putting himself in a position that was a little bit tougher than it needed to be. So what we really tried to work on was just, hey, I want you to keep all your athleticism, but I want us to be a little bit smarter in the space that we chew up, right? Let's be smarter also in the position you put yourself in. If you avoid this, tackler, if you avoid your guard being pushed back up into you in this manner, here's how to do it while staying an efficient passer. Now, because, I've seen this so many times, these super athletic kids that can make these throws, they put themselves in too hard of a position. So it's more about overcoming and manufacturing the throw than it is about moving and sliding and still staying in a really good position to be efficient. And that's really what we've done with Zach, right? We haven't made him more capable of making throws in some ways, but for the most part, Zach could do a lot of it. It's just about, let's get you in the best position when you make that move.
He talked last week about one thing he's learned from you, among many, was throwing off platform. We've seen that in action. He's thrown several really good balls where, like he's talked about learning from you, you're not going to be in a perfect footwork situation, and so far, so good.
Yeah, the throw I loved was the catch that Gunner made. That was, it was a phenomenal catch on the 1 yard line, right? It was almost a touchdown where Zach kind of escaped in the pocket, spun, set his feet real quick, and threw that ball, right? It's not uncommon for somebody that has not practiced that a lot to have the ability to make the throw, but maybe not be as accurate. So you may see them spin, flip their hips, throw that ball, and that may sail over the guy's head, right? It may be high and right. He may yank it to the sideline. So it's the potential's there, but it's not refined. When I see Zach make those type throws, you see that it's become refined. He makes those throws all the time on our field here. We ask him to make those throws. We put him in that difficult position. So it's kind of something that really I learned from Aaron Rodgers when I was playing. I would throw with Aaron all the time, and I would see Aaron only take a few reps where it was clean and in rhythm. And then Aaron would put himself in a lot of different positions. And I actually flat up, I asked him why. And he said, Brett Favre taught me this. He just said, if you go back on tape and you watch, it's not a lot of high percentage throws you get to make where everything's clean. So I practice in an off-platform environment. So I've just tried to take all of those things to what we do. Tom House, he functions from a pitcher's mound. So in that dating back to 2013 when we started this, it's, okay, quarterbacks have to function from different platforms. So it's kind of all these things get put into Zach. Right? Okay, Zach, now let's have you do this all the time out here. We're not out here repping the throws that Zach can make with his receivers with no defense around. We're asking him to make those difficult throws. So when I see Zach make a throw like that in that game, I love it because I see that's all the work that kid has put into it. To everybody else, that looks like kind of a scramble backyard type play. But what people don't know is behind the scenes, Zach has practiced that throw hundreds and hundreds of times. And that's the cool part for me when I watch these games and I watch the throws that Zach makes is I've seen that kid work through those things hundreds of times out here, and now it's happening on game day, and that's what's special about it.
Former BYU and NFL quarterback John Beck with us on BYU Sports Nation. Outstanding stuff thus far. John, true or false, Zach Wilson right now as a junior is better than you were at this time as a junior?
Oh, yeah, he's better. Yeah, Zach is at Zach's just at a different level of understanding within his offense. He's running a system that he knows really well. He's been running it for 3 years. He's refined so many things with his feet, with his body, stuff that if you were to go to me back then, I didn't even know about these things. So yeah, I mean, it's he better be better than me because crap, I mean, with how talented he already is, here's something I'll say about Zach. I've been around him a lot. He speaks very highly of his high school coach, and I want to say his name right, Coach Care,
yes,
I believe is his name. They're at Corner Canyon. He really talks highly of him, of like the things that he introduced to him, the things he was asking to do. Like Zach entered with such a high level of understanding of so many things. Then, you got to tip your hat to also what his dad's done and the sacrifices his dad has made, because his dad has done a lot of things to help Zach learn these things, right? The quarterback development nowadays is so different than what it was late 90s, early 2000s, of what quarterbacks, the information they can get. So, the Wilson family, Zach, they've taken full advantage of it. And, people ask me all the time, about my job and what are some of the cool things about my job. And yes, it's cool to work with the high profile guys and it's cool to work with the draft picks. But the cool part for me is I get to utilize all of my experience that I've had and help somebody else get it earlier in their career. All these things that I teach guys, I didn't even know about a lot of these things until I was done playing ball. So to give it to them young in their years, it actually reminds me of, I played in a charity golf event with these professional skateboarders. They'd been pros back in the late 90s. And when I golf with them, they just said it's crazy nowadays because these kids nowadays, they're doing the tricks at 12 years old that we were doing as pros. And the things that now we see pros doing, we didn't even know they existed. And I think of that always when I think about some of these things that quarterbacks are doing now and the information they're functioning off of and things that, throws that we're repping Zach with out on the field now. Like those were throws that only happened when it was crap, man, that was a hard position to throw from back in our day. But you're not, you weren't even thinking about, okay, my front shoulder needs to be here. My head needs to be here. My feet need to be here. My arm needs to be here. Those are all these developments that have happened recently over probably the last 6 to 8 years. And that's what's cool about Zach's willingness. It's more than just a kid who's willing to drive down. It's a kid that's, he recognizes the value of the information. And that's really why I have a job with the NFL guys. People ask, why does a Matt Stafford, who's one of the best throwers in the NFL, come to you guys? Why? Well, it's for those things. It's because of where your shoulder is in position in relation to your front hip, where your hand is in relation to your feet based off all these throws. It's information that back in my day, just no one was thinking that.
John, it's always great to have you on the show. And for the record, we think that you would have gone 3-0 against this schedule as well. So there's that.
Well, you know what? It's been fun to watch these Cougars play. I'm really excited for these games, these upcoming games. It's exciting to watch Zach have all the success. The kid's worked his tail off for it. And, when I watch the tape also, man, the O-linemen, the receivers, there's a lot of things going on that offense that are really, really good right now. It's great to see.
John, great to catch up with you, man. Let's do it again soon.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, Dennis Pitta, you're up next.
No,
Dennis.
No,
Wait,
Dennis. No time for Dennis.
Tight ends?
No time for Dennis.
Oh,
you
man.
know this.
I'm gonna get a text right after this. Watch. Dennis is gonna text me.
No time for Dennis.